there's a major meeting going on between us and Iran, and that'll take place on Saturday, and it's at top level. I think if the talks aren't successful with Iran, I think Iran is going to be in great danger, and I hate to say it, great danger, because they can't have a nuclear weapon.
U.S. President Donald Trump has blocked an Israeli plan to strike Iranian nuclear facilities next month, as per a report by the New York Times. The New York Times reported that Trump is prioritizing diplomacy over military escalation in the Iran confrontation. He reportedly aims to avoid another Middle Eastern war, unlike his first term when he withdrew from the Iran nuclear deal. Trump's decision came after months of internal debate over backing Israel versus pursuing talks with Tehran. Washington is now trying to revive nuclear negotiations with Iran through indirect talks announced on April 7. In March, Trump sent a letter to Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, urging talks but warning of possible military action if they failed to produce a deal. Trump administration officials revealed to the New York Times that Israel had sought Washington's assistance to carry out an attack on Iranian nuclear facilities in May. These plans, which required substantial U.S. assistance, included both an extensive bombing campaign and a commando raid on underground facilities. The planned attack required U.S. intelligence and logistical support to hit Iran's hardened underground sites. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu pushed for U.S. backing, citing Iran's current regional and military vulnerabilities. Trump, however, told Netanyahu earlier this month that the U.S. would not support a military operation. Instead, Trump set a tight deadline for new indirect talks aimed at halting Iran's nuclear weapons program during Netanyahu's visit to Washington on April 7.
We're having direct talks with Iran, and they've started. It'll go on Saturday. We have a very big meeting, and we'll see what can happen. And I think everybody agrees that doing a deal would be preferable to doing the obvious. And the obvious is not something that I want to be involved with, or frankly, that Israel wants to be involved with if they can avoid it. So we're going to see if we can avoid it. But it's getting to be very dangerous territory. And hopefully those talks will be successful. And I think it would be in Iran's best interest if they are successful. We hope that's going to happen.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to ask you about Iran, because this is the first time we hear that the U.S. is having a direct contact with the Iranians. Is it possible to give us some more information at what level
High level, very high level, yeah. We're dealing with the Iranians. We have a very big meeting on Saturday, and we're dealing with them directly. You know, a lot of people say, oh, maybe you're going through surrogates or you're not dealing directly, you're dealing through other countries. No, we're dealing with them directly, and maybe a deal is going to be made. That would be great. It would be really great for Iran, I can tell you that. But hopefully, we're not going to have to get into that. We are meeting very importantly on Saturday at almost the highest level, and we'll see how it works out.
On Iran, two questions, please. First, you can give us more details about where the meeting on Saturday is going.
I can't tell you that. I can just tell you there's a major meeting going on between us and Iran, and that'll take place on Saturday, and it's at top level.
And the second question about this, a lot of people think that those talks are not going to lead anywhere because the Iranians will never give up their nuclear program.
I think that's a possibility too.
If diplomacy fails, is the United States under your leadership ready to take military action to destroy the Iranian nuclear program and remove this threat?
I think if the talks aren't successful with Iran, I think Iran is going to be in great danger. And I hate to say it, great danger, because they can't have a nuclear weapon.
So is that a yes?
You know, it's not a complicated formula. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. That's all there is.
So
Can't have it.
Ready?
Right now we have countries that have nuclear power that shouldn't have it, but I'm sure we'll be able to negotiate out of that too as part of this later on down the line. But Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And if the talks aren't successful, I actually think it'll be a very bad day for Iran if that's the case.
Look, we're both united in the goal that Iran does not ever get nuclear weapons. If it could be done diplomatically in a full way, the way it was done in Libya, I think that would be a good thing. But whatever happens, we have to make sure that Iran does not have nuclear weapons.